Hey guys, Vodka7 up here. Welcome back. I'm glad to have you with me again on this journey to the endgame. Before I begin, let me just tell you something that I haven't told you on the other video that should be quite obvious by now. I am not English or American, and English is not my first language, so you'll have to excuse me if sometimes my speech sounds a bit forced or awkward, but I'm sure you'll understand. So before you get into the video, I'm just going to tell you also that I'm going to make a 10 poll on the end of the video, so stick around if you're curious to see what I get. So last video I was telling you guys I felt I was kind of blocked because I couldn't farm Tulpa 8. So yeah, Tulpa 8, I couldn't farm it, and I felt like I was blocked because I couldn't farm the gear there, which is supposedly the gear that I would need at this point for my heroes. But I had it wrong. I received multiple advices about focusing on campaign instead and getting gear there, and I felt that the gear from the campaign just wasn't worth it, because the gear from the campaign goes to at most the blue rarity, and I felt that I needed a higher rarity gear. But that's not really the case, and I do have to thank the players that gave me this advice, especially GamerDude2088, which I found in Reddit and is just a very helpful guy. He also has his own Twitch channel, and he's just very helpful, and maybe you could just check him out. He's usually streaming and whatnot. So him and other people just told me this, and they're right, because I'm used to needing the endgame gear from other games, but I'm not there yet, and I really need to know how to walk before I can run, and there's lots of places for me to progress other than just farming the endgame gear. I have the adventure mode. I have I still haven't completed it. I'm still on chapter 8. I'm a bit further ahead than what I showed you on the last video, but I got to this 8-3 mission and I couldn't get past it. I haven't tried it much, but I'm not too worried because I have been focusing elsewhere. There are other places that I can focus on and also progress, like the Void Tower. I'm only floor 52 on normal, and the most important thing, the most important aspect that I can upgrade, and I should be upgrading, and that's what I've been doing these last few days, is I need to get the my best heroes an appropriate high enough glyph level, because if you see my my best heroes, well, they're almost all glyphed, but then we get to the other heroes that I don't use that much, and their glyph level is still really low. So there's still a lot of progress to be made by me on this aspect, and this is what I've been doing. Let's say I want to level up and glyph some of my best heroes, like Awaken, which is obviously, as you might know, is really big on some of dungeons, like the Queen of Tides. So I'll go into details, I'll see which glyphs he doesn't have, I'll see where I can farm them, and then I just go into it and I multi-battle for a few rounds, and I'll see if I get the glyphs required to do so, to do the upgrade, that is, of course. And in the process I'll be getting lots of gear, lots of greens and lots of blues, and the gear you get from campaign can go up to 5-star and blue rarity. And as you probably know, if you don't, then let me just quickly inform you. The difference between the low rarity gear and the high rarity gear is that the low rarity, the browns, the greens, the blues, will either not have any substats or will have just one or two substats. The high rarity gear, such as epics and legendaries, will have already a fixed 3 or 4 substats, and once you level them up, you know that you will be leveling up those substats. When you are leveling a low rarity piece of gear, then you don't know which substats that you're going to get. So when you reach the end game, it's really important to get that high rarity gear, because you'll need not only the main stat, but you'll need very specific substats, and you'll need them to be really high. And with low rarity gear, that won't happen. But that is not the case where I am in the game right now. And where I am in the game right now, most heroes will do their job just fine with a high enough main stat and maybe another high substat. For example, on my big damage dealers, what do you want? You want attack and crit rate. So I can focus on pieces of gear that are from the warrior set and that have a good high attack main stat or attack bonus main stat, and maybe some crit rate substats. And in the case of others, such as debuffers like Santis, what you want is for them to be high HP and have enough focus. And quite honestly, well, you can have those kind of pieces just by farming the main adventure. I'm not going to show you because I don't want I don't want this to be painfully boring, as it maybe already is, but anyway, you get my point. So what I've been doing, as I said, is focusing on getting the glyphs and upgrading these heroes to farm the adventure mode and some of the dungeons. And I've been actually focusing on some heroes to try and clear the next Arcane Dominator Queen of Tides stage 7, which it's not going to be easy, because I know I need to get some heroes higher in level with higher HP, higher defense, and I'm not there yet. I actually tried to do a run on Queen of Tides and I failed miserably, as you can see, because I haven't progressed from stage 7, and I'll be trying that again once I get my heroes a bit buffed up. Anyway, so this is where I am at in the game right now. I have definitely some progress to do. I have some decisions to make as well. I need to decide which hero to upgrade to 6 stars next. I'm debating whether I should upgrade Corrupt Orac or if I should upgrade Santis. And honestly, I'm leaning towards Corrupt Orac, because as good as Santis is, I think that Corrupt Orac is probably going to be more helpful when clearing dungeons, well, other dungeons, and when clearing some of the high level or final chapters of the adventure mode in mythic difficulty. Another thing I'm also debating, and I cannot make my mind, is whether if I should or buy the monthly pass or not. As you can see, I'm really close to the point where I would get Tia from the pass. The thing is, I have an F2P free-to-play mentality, and I usually only spend money if it's a really, really, really good deal, which I know that the monthly pass is because it has a lot of value in it. But if you think about it, it's all stuff that you can get from playing. So it's all of this is stuff that I'm going to get eventually if I just play the game, including Tia, which is one of the heroes that you can get from fusions. And you might argue, well, but if you get Tia here, then you'll be able to upgrade her once you fuse her, or you might not even need to fuse her and just keep the epics. And that's all true, and that's the reason why I haven't decided yet. I'll have to make my mind about it. I still have 15 days to do it, so maybe you guys can give me some pointers, and maybe you guys can tell me what you would do if you were me. So let's do the summon, shall we? Hopefully we'll get something good. Hopefully we'll get some new epic. I'm not expecting any new legendaries because I just recently got Dark Orcath. Or Orak. This game has such strange names. And hopefully we'll get something useful. Let's just see. Can we get gold? No, we cannot. 10 rares it is. Well, that's disappointing. That's really disappointing. But, you know, that's the game. Sometimes you get epics, sometimes you get legendaries, and sometimes you just get 10 rares from a 10 pull. Well, that's the that's how to end this video on a sad note. Well, guys, it's been good having you here, and I hope that you stick around and just keep with me on this journey to the end game. I'll see you guys later. Vodka signing out.